Okay, so because our course is the microeconomics, and already we started something about, in the semester third for the microeconomics too. Fine. So hope you remember some things. We'll do some interactions also in this regard. Uh, let's make it June. Okay. So is that visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now, have you discussed something in the microeconomics one in your undergrad about this preference structure? Yes, anybody? Whether you are acquainted this topic, preference structure?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay, but you know about the indifference curves. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So hope you remember the definition of indifference curve. Can anybody tell me the definition of it?
Ma'am, it shows the combination of
Yes,
two
anybody?
goods ma'am, it shows the combination of two goods which give the same level of satisfaction throughout the contract.
Who is speaking? Actually, you are not audible, dear.
Ma'am, I'm Gopika. Hello? Hello? Ma'am, am I audible?
Okay, okay, leave it. You people are not audible to me very clearly. So let me speak today and you can ask me query after that. Fine. And then we will discuss and interact. But I am audible to you all. Hai na? Okay, let's proceed. We are here talking about the consumer preferences. You definitely have heard about it in the microeconomics one whenever you started in your undergrads. The preference structure is basically an assumption of the indifference curve. So whenever we try to opt consumption bundles, when the consumer would deal with the two consumption bundles, let's say X1 and X2, that is the one consumption bundle. And the second consumption bundle we have, that is Y1 and a Y2. Now the consumer can rank them as to their desirability. So that is their choice. The consumer can determine that one of the consumption bundle is strictly better than the other, or decide that she is indifferent between the two bundles. So it means they have a choice in different ways. The one is what? Strictly preferred choice, and the other choice is what? They may be indifferent. Now indifferent is what? When the consumer is just confused between two bundles. Sometimes they will opt X1 and X2 is good, sometimes they opt Y1 and a Y2 is good. So it means they are not able to decide that which bundle is giving actually the accurate and the better utility to them. So that is why we call them, they are the indifferent. So this is the one of definition on indifference curve, that the indifference curve is a set of weak preferences. Is that clear? Because the people cannot, reveal their choices in a strong way. That's why it is not a strictly and a strong preference. So we call it, it is the consumer is indifferent between two bundles. That's why we call it, this is the indifference curve. And this preference structure is basically the base of this whole indifference curve. So we have two variations here. The one is strictly preferred, and the second is what the consumer is indifferent. And also we can talk about the weekly preference bundles in that. So let's start first of all what axioms actually we do follow in this case. Okay. So the consumer would reveal the choice. Consumer has to attempt to maximize their own well-being. Consumer have a good information about all goods they could purchase. So there should be a perfect knowledge about the market, and they can reveal their choices freely also. And the consumers desires a variety of goods and services. So here we cannot say that the one consumer is revealing the choice for the X1 and X2, then second consumer has to also reveal their choice for the X1 and X2. No, the consumer choices are different, and that should be the rational one. We all know that the consumer choices would be rational on the basis of what the budget constraint. So it means if we follow the budget constraint, then only the consumer would determine their own utility on the basis of that particular consumption bundle. So it means one consumer would opt this X1 and X2 based on their budget. The second consumer would opt this Y1 and Y2 based on their budget. So this is very essential. To follow this preference structure, the consumer choices should be or must be different from each other because their rationalities are different, their budgets are different. Then we discuss this thing that the consumption bundles, let's say we have here this consumption bundle that is revealing the different basket, the n number of baskets we have in this X, X1 also, X2 also, X3 also, and so on. So Xi here is 0 for all I, it is 1, 2, 3, and so n number of goods are available in this X basket. So a consumption bundle is then a vector in the non-negative or that of n-dimensional real number. We'll assume for most of the time that any real number quantity can be consumed of any good or services. So here a consumer would have a choice of X or maybe a choice of Y. So they have n number of things, X1, X2 and n number of X. Similarly for Y, they have an n number of Y. So what now the consumer would do? The consumer has to see this X1 is actually revealed preferred on Y1 and also this X2 which is revealed preferred on Y2. So for entire X when they are choosing, they are actually choosing all ingredients of the X and the comparison of the X they'll do with the Y. So based on what? This budget constraints and the consumption possibilities, it means how many baskets are offered to them. So these are the preferences are building block or primitive element of a consumer choice. We'll assume that the preferences satisfy a number of assumptions called axioms so that they will exhibit certain properties we consider natural. So entire indifference curve is based on the preferences and these preferences are based on axioms. So what are these axioms? We'll discuss about that. So first of all, what notations we are using for these axioms, and these are that the consumer has X and Y, two consumption bundles, and they may follow X is revealed preferred on Y. See here the X is revealed preferred but equals to Y. It means the consumer may choose X but it is at least as good as Y. Okay, so it means they can choose Y also. So that is the weak preference. Here if we'll choose this strong preference, it means the X is revealed preferred on Y. It means the consumer is not confused now between X and Y. The consumer would choose this X on Y without any doubt. And here, consumer is indifferent between X and Y. Here and here, the two things we have. You can assume it is similar, but these are not similar. See, this particular notation is called weak preference. It means X is at least as good as Y, but the one-off ingredient of X you would like to choose which is better than giving you the preferences or the satisfaction to you in your utility when you're choosing this X, but it is your weak preference. So X and Y both are good, but the consumer sometimes is choosing S, consumer sometimes is choosing Y based on their utility. Here what is happening when your budget constraint is not differentiating both of the bundles together, it means the consumption of X and the consumption of Y, in both ways your expenditure is similar and your utility is also similar. If you remember the definition of indifference curve, the indifference curve on given indifference curve we have a different points which is giving you the same level of satisfaction and the same level of utility. So if X point is also on the same indifference curve and the Y point is also on the same indifference curve, they might be giving you same utility as per the definition of indifference curve. So in that case, your budget constraint would determine whether you're choosing X or you're choosing Y. But because of the definition of the indifference curve, X is giving you the same utility and Y is also giving you the same utility. In that case, the consumer would be indifferent in this case. Here, it is a weak preference. Here, it is the strong preference. Here, we have indifferent preference of a consumer. So these notations we were using for these axioms. So we have three major preference axioms here. The one is reflexivity, the second is transitivity, and the third is completeness. The economists usually make some assumptions about consistency and the consumer preferences. And based on these axioms, they would desire their preferences and they reveal their preferences. There were situations, suppose x1 and x2, which is revealed preferred on y1 and y2. At the same time, y1 and y2 is revealed preferred on x1 and x2. So it means the consumer strictly preferring either X or Y. It means sometimes you're preferring X, sometimes you're preferring Y. This is showing what the weak preference is. Now to understand this, we are categorizing our preferences, that is under the reflexivity, transitivity and completeness. I'm taking first of all this transitivity. Now to understand this transitivity, this is a strong preference as we have seen in the notation over here. This is a strong preference. X is revealed preferred on Y. And if Y is revealed preferred on Z, then Z cannot be revealed preferred on X. It means you are not confused. So we call it, this is a strong preference and this is what the transitivity. And if we go for this reflexivity, this is talking about the weak preferences. It is at least as good as. It means X is also similar utility which is giving you, that is Y, but still you are choosing X because some of the ingredient of the X is giving you more than this. But the reflexivity is also like we can talk about, you know, the mirror reflection. So one of the commodity is giving you the same utility other, but because of your own utility, suppose 2x are being preferred on the 1 kg of sugar. So this is your own utility that you desire 2x to buy rather than to buy 1 kg of sugar. So that's your utility, but over and above, the reflexivity shows the utility's entire basket of X and entire basket of Y is giving you same. And then we have completeness. The completeness, it means whatever bundle you are choosing, that is giving you completeness. It means your satisfaction is getting complete. Now to understand this more. The reflexivity, as I told you, that it is at least as good as itself. It means X is X. Okay, use X is indifferent to X. This shows that the axis here in between these two of the bundles, we have a mirror. Okay, so both has a reflection which is same. So as I was telling you that you are choosing this bundle and this bundle, there is no gap in the utility. But because of your own preferences, you want to choose one basket over and above the other basket. But it is also showing a weak order of preferences. So this is a consumer behavior because of their preferences are different. They are choosing the bundle over and above other, even on the weak preferences. The transitivity, as I told you, this is a strong preference. The X is revealed preferred on Y, Y is revealed preferred on Z, then X is revealed preferred on Z. Or you can say the Z cannot be revealed preferred on X. This notation you would not use. It may be a typing error. This is at least as good as. Okay, so you can remove this, the equal sign. So only X is revealed preferred on Z, you would choose. It means the Z cannot be revealed preferred on X or cannot be revealed preferred on Y. So in the society, if the consumers are preferring something, unanimously, something which is more and better than Y and Y is better than Z. So it means X is always and superior good than the Z. So Z cannot be preferred, in the society as a whole. As a whole means I'm talking about a majority. There is a welfare theorem of Arrow's impossibility theorem. You must have studied it. I'm not remembering that it was a part of your macro 2 in your undergrad, but this is talking about transitivity. And once you are in a society and the whole society or the majority of the society is preferring this X, okay, so the most of the producer would produce this X commodity, and if you're preferring Y, then the most of producer would producing this Y. It means the Z would be inferior one and would not be produced much because there is no demand of this particular commodity in the society. So indifference curve is giving you the choices and revealing their choices by a consumer, so then you can even give a blueprint to the society whenever the production and some economic activities would take place. So anybody has doubt till now? So coming to this completeness part. The completeness shows what? We assume that any two bundles can be compared. Okay. So that is given any X bundle, any Y bundle. We assume that X1 and X2 is revealed, preferred, and also at least as good as to the Y. So X is at least as good as Y, and Y is also at least as good as X. So if we look at this, this is giving you what the weak preference is, but that both ways it is must be true. If a consumer is choosing X over Y, and consumer sometimes choosing Y over X, so that both cases are true because the symbol is what the weak order preferences. Sometimes X are giving you more utility, sometimes 1 kg sugar is giving you more utility. So the implication is that a consumer can state a preference relation between any and all bundles. But the important part is what? Suppose X has two ingredients, X1 and X2, and the Y has two ingredients, Y1 and Y2. As I was telling you, whenever you are following this week,
Ma'am,
yes, yes,
ma'am,
yeah.
ma'am, Abhishek want to connect. I mean, please
Okay,
connect him.
Abhishek, I admitted him. Okay, let me see.
But I think yes, ma'am.
Let me see because I'm not able to see this window of Zoom. Shall I stop share and do now? Wait, I'm not able to see him. Where is he? His request
Ma'am,
is
he's
not there.
asking. Okay, ma'am.
His request is not coming now. So without that, how can I
Please
add
tell
him?
him to give that.
Ask him to again request for joining.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. So what about others? I think you three have joined. You three have
Yes,
joined. What
I
about
think
others?
it, yes. Ma'am, yesterday Pratap told he can't able to connect, but others I don't know.
They are not able to connect. So they have to, if they can do it now, I'm waiting for that and then I can proceed. And otherwise, if they are not able to connect, they have to write me. Okay. What about
Yes,
Abhishek?
ma'am.
It's still joining. I admitted him.
Ma'am,
You may
I
ask
told him
where
to
is
again
time.
send.
Meanwhile, we can discuss about it. Yes, please. We discussed reflexivity, transitivity, completeness. I was discussing about this completeness. The completeness was saying actually, if in the bundle of X, X1 and X2, two ingredients we have, and in bundle of Y, if we have two ingredients, that is Y1 and Y2, then what happens actually? The consumer has to see this X1 is revealed preferred on Y, and X2 is also revealed preferred on Y1. Oh, sorry, Y2. So in that case, entire X, if you're choosing, okay, over and above this Y, then it means X is giving you full satisfaction, which is the completeness. Similarly, when you're choosing Y, then the entire bundle and the basket is giving you full utility. That is also the completeness. So Abhishek, you're there? Still is trying. So this is your first class. If these technical problems are coming, then how would you manage for the whole day? I think in 7th semester, only me and Murthy sir would be taking your class, I guess.
Yes, Pragati ma'am also.
Okay, 3 people, no?
Yes.
So at what time Pragati ma'am will take class?
Until now she didn't inform, but her
Okay, okay,
according to routine it's 11,
fine, fine.
12:30, 2:30 ma'am.
Okay. Pragati ma'am's class is there, but she was
Yes, ma'am.
saying 7th semester she doesn't have any class. Which course she will be
Okay.
taking?
Uh, don't know, ma'am, but in our this revised timetable, her name is there. That's why I told.
No, no, I don't think so. Pragati ma'am's class is there. I think you're getting confused with IEE, I suppose.
That is new faculty.
No, no,
Ma'am.
new faculty will be taking. So Pragati ma'am's
Okay,
class
okay.
is not there, I guess, in 7th semester. The new faculties
Mm-hmm.
are likely to join, the interview is scheduled. So don't worry, the faculties will come. So by the time me and Murthy sir would be, engaging your classes for 2 courses, and your one more course you have to, register for that. So that is for soft
Yeah.
skills. Fine. So Abhishek is there.
He's still trying to connect.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So shall I go back to my screen? Still Abhishek is not there. I think he is having some technical problems with his end.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You are not comfortable with Zoom? If you are not comfortable with Zoom, we can do with the Google Meet also. Tell me. Hmm? Shivani, Gopika, is there any problem with
Yes,
it?
ma'am.
No, if you people are not comfortable with Zoom, we can do with this Google Meet also.
Yes, ma'am. Google Meet will be
Better? Okay, I'll
better.
try
This is
because I
also
never
fine.
used it, but tomorrow onwards I can try it too. Okay. So,
Okay, ma'am.
so if you are getting the connection problems and some other problems, and Zoom is also not secure, if you're finding it, then we can go with Google Meet too. Because I'm frequently using this Zoom, so that is why I sent you link today for the Zoom only. Anyways, first of all, I think we should discuss about this preferences first, and then I'll proceed. So we discuss completeness, reflexivity, and this transitivity. Now, first we'll discuss three. You may ask the question about it. Yes, please. I'm waiting to hear.
And it's clear.
So you understood, guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know what books you need to follow?
No.
So Abhishek is there. Can you hear me, Abhishek? Hello, Abhishek. Are you there? So no queries. हाँ ये interaction नहीं हो पाता इसमें ना अच्छे से. You should give me queries. I'll go with Piazza also, so you can put your queries there. Okay, so I'm going back to my screen. So we discussed about this completeness. Now, based on this, we have indifferent sets. The indifferent sets, which says that the indifference curve is coming out of this. It means when the consumer is choosing sometimes X, sometimes Y, because it is coming out of weak order preferences. That is why the consumer would now be reaching on the indifferent sets. So Y consumer is between indifferent between this Y and X over here. Now what question arises? Are these preferences sufficient to ensure that a typical consumer's choice decisions are well behaved? Now, what do you mean by actually well behaved here? Now, two things are very important. Let me go here to the indifference curve first. Okay, fine. Let's take this an example of indifference curve. Okay, we have here this indifference curve that shows what? Why the shape of the indifference curve is like this? We know because the MRS is decreasing. Okay, the marginal rate of substitution is decreasing. This is X good, this is Y good, and the consumer is indifferent between these two goods. That's why there are the various points on this indifference curve where we have the same level of utility. Now you can see here the different bundles, 1, 2, 3, and so on, so many bundles. So according to the definition of indifference curve, because unless we are introducing this budget line, we cannot say that, which is affordable bundle. But we can reveal our choices and our preferences in that case. If this is the indifference curve, we have one bundle here. And this bundle is revealed preferred on this bundle, of course, which is lying on this indifference curve. And there's another bundle which is actually below to this particular point. Now, to understand these all three axioms together, this indifferent, when the consumer is indifferent between X and Y, then the consumer would like to be here. Okay. When the consumer would like to reveal prefer their choices over and above this strongly, it means the strong reveal prefer, or we say it is a transitivity. It means if this bundle is chosen over this bundle and this bundle is chosen over this bundle, then this bundle cannot be chosen over this bundle. So this relationship is basically what the transitivity. Then it means if consumer is choosing this strongly over and above this, that is a strong preference. This is the consumer's weak preference, but the more likely weak preferences are what? This and this also. You see this particular point is lying below to this particular point, but this is still on the same indifference curve. But sometimes it is giving same utility and this is also giving a same utility. So these 2 points are having relationship that they are at least as good as together. It means this bundle and this bundle can be chosen by the consumer. That is why they are indifferent to each other. And this situation is weak bundle. So the consumer would not like to choose it because it is below the indifference curve. But still we are not introducing any budget line in this case. Guys, our time may go now. Maybe 1 or 2 minutes we have. Okay, the remaining time we have, I think this 9 minute is showing. 9 minute is showing. Fine. So we can continue. And after that, if something is left, we can interact again by joining this link. Okay. So you got this point? How we actually define all the preferences on the indifference curve. Now the question is, what is well-behaved? The well-behaved is what? When I will draw another indifference curve from this particular line. So it means this indifference curve is a lower indifference curve and this indifference curve would be the higher indifference curve. And as per the definition of the indifference map, the higher indifference curve shows the higher level of satisfaction. Similarly, we can have one more indifference curve here. This shows that the lower indifference curve has a lower level of utility. So now who is likely to join? I got some request again. I think Abhishek's some technical problem he is facing. He is not able to connect again and again. He is disconnecting.
Yes, ma'am, he's having problem in hearing your
You
voice.
all have problem what? Huh? For this internet where Abhishek resides? Is he is staying in the rural area? Maybe some network issues are there, but I will share the video also to the students. Don't worry. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So we were discussing about this, and this is well-behaved preferences. So the higher indifference curve shows the higher level of satisfaction, and the lower indifference curve shows the lower level of satisfaction. Now, what does it mean? The indifference curve says that this is the average bundle of two extremes, and that is what? The convexity. We already have studied this thing, okay? So it is origin to the this indifference curve is drawn to the origin, okay? So this origin is here, and if we have one extreme here, the another extreme here, and if we draw a line here, fine. So the average bundle of these two, we call it what? The convexity. So the one thing, consumer desires always more, okay? So more, that means the consumer is following here the known satiation. I'm not adding this word local here. We'll come on that part local further. But consumer is always following what? The non-satiation. So always desire more. He desires more of X, he desires more of Y. So this is one thing which is what? The convexity. And second is what? The monotonicity. That is why the consumer is following what this non-satiation. And when both of the features would be added here, we call it that is a well-behaved preferences. This is a well-behaved preferences of the consumer. So that is not sufficient what we have started. It means the three axioms, the one is reflexivity, other is transitivity, and the third is indifferent relationship. It means the completeness. So the question arises, now we need what the well-behaved preferences here. Now to understand it, consider the following preferences for the lexicographic preferences. Lexicographic preferences is what? Suppose we consume two goods, that is the X1 and X2 and the Y1 and the Y2. Now, as I already have discussed, that whenever you are choosing this consumption bundle X, you're actually looking at the quantity of this X1 and X2 and also the quantity of this Y1 and a Y2. And you also reveal your choice for that. So it means X1 is revealed preferred on Y1, then only you're choosing X. Similarly, for X2 is revealed preferred on Y2, then you are choosing this X. So when the consumer is revealing their preferences for that, these preferences, whenever the X is being chosen, then we consider these preferences would be the lexicographic preferences. But to understand this, we go with an example. We have the example over here. Now you can see here three bundles we have, X, Y, and Z. Now with this, we have here the 4, 2, 2. It means the X bundle, they are taking, the 4, they are getting the 4 utility. We know that the utility is a subjective one, but here we are defining in the form of utils. So let's say if they are getting the 4 utils out of it, from Y, they are getting the 2 utils out of it, and for the Z, they are getting 2 utils out of it. And you can assume these are the quantities also. And if you add it, 4 to 6 to 8. So total quantity of 8 the consumer is getting when they are choosing this bundle. So X, Y, Z, this proportion they have chosen and they are getting total 8 utils out of it. Here we have 4, 1, 4. It means 9. Here we have 2, 4, 2. It means again we have 8. But the basket is different. Here the basket is different. Here the basket is different. Now, if we'll go for the one, first of all, the first option,